Okay, before we get started on this, we brought John Gilliam. John is a senior for us, so I'm gonna hand it over to him and let him tell you a little about himself.
Thank you, Coach. Like you said, my name is John Gilliam. I'm from San Bernardino, California. I'm a senior in my final year. Thank God. I know my mom is happy for me. I'll be graduating in May, and I'll be graduating with a business management major. So I'm very thankful for that, and I'm blessed to do that. With my major, I want to focus on sports management. Kind of want to open up my own kind of sports firm, maybe even an agency. So I'm looking forward to doing that after basketball is said and done. But I'll see how far basketball takes me first.
Before he says, does anybody have any questions for John? Okay. Now you can. Okay. Okay. John, he didn't tell you, John is John Gilliam the fourth. So there's four of them. I don't know if the world can handle a fifth one. It's funny because we got John last year. He was a junior last year, and when we got him, got on the phone. I got hold of his junior college coach. We got on the phone, and then his dad. Then I was talking to John, and everything was good. And then his dad got on the phone. Well, me and his dad start talking, and his dad turns out to be a country boy from Shreveport, Louisiana. So there was pretty much a sealed deal right then. Whenever we had two Southerners talking there. John's been really good for us over last year. He was an honorable mention all conference, averaged about 17 a game. He was like the second or third leading scorer in the conference. Had a great weekend this weekend. This is the best thing this weekend. This was definitely, I mean, scoring wise, John, he can score, but this was his best weekend defensively since he's been here. He made big progress there. So we're expecting a lot more because we kind of had to stretch him out. He only has to pass one class in the spring to graduate. So we're expecting him to be able to dig in defensively a little more in the spring too. Okay, good. Well, while Coach is getting this part, this weekend we were up in Gunnison, Colorado, and they let you know on the side, on the end of the basket, it tells you that you're in the world's highest collegiate gymnasium. They put it in the locker room. It says, whenever your breath starts feeling harder, like they're trying to like mind trick you while you're there. It's like, what is all of this? 7,723. Yeah, that's all. Nothing major. But Friday night we started off against Western State. It's a tie game at halftime. We thought we weren't defensively. We're still trying to, we can live with making mistakes, but those mistakes have to be at 100 miles an hour. And we're still working our way in the communication part because we decided we were going to switch some screens 1 through 3. All three of our guards were going to switch. We kept there was either miscommunications or lack of communication. So we didn't do a very good job there, and we felt like we could have done better. And that being said, I mean, in Western State they played their butt off. I mean, they played really, really well, and we wound up being a 4-point game. So, which we definitely could have, and we felt like we should have won. Next night we come back against Colorado Mesa, who beat Cameron by 10 or so on Friday night, and Colorado Mesa is very good. Their post player will be the best post player we see all year. He is 6'10", 250 pounds, and he is good. He is really good. He's been averaging about 33, 34 a game. He's a double-double. He's a preseason player of the year in the RMAC, preseason All-American. He was an All-American last year. He's really, really good. He's wound up finishing with 25 points, but we made him take 20 shots to get there. And we did. I feel like we did a really good job. Our guys got to where in front. We frustrated him. We have our kid Lucas Bowens, who's a 28-year-old junior, who's actually he's in the military, so he's he's in the National Guard. Lucas was able to get around them, get some steals, do some things. Lucas is from Clovis and never played high school basketball, and he's over there out working. Big Luke is a great guy to have around. And overall, it was just, Saturday night, we still didn't play great, I don't feel. I feel like we have a long way to go as far as what we could do. But we looked it up. I mean, beating Mesa, that was the first time since 2003 a Lone Star team has beaten Colorado Mesa. So we felt like we made some progress there. And the main thing was we were dialed in, and we made a lot of mistakes defensively. In particular, we're up 7 with 2 minutes to go, and we said, don't let this kid get a 3. And the first thing that happened coming out of the timeout, he gets a wide open 3, of course. And I was about ready to jump off a building. But then, they came back and tied it on us, give them credit. But, our guys were, we kind of saw where, even if we're not playing that well, if we're playing hard, we saw kind of what we can do. And then the next play after they tied it up was probably one of the most impressive individual plays, which we hope to be able to show you if we can get it going here. But it was one of the most impressive individual plays I've seen made here. And that was okay. I'm gonna keep talking, and then whenever they get, I don't know how to do this stuff. But so the play, what happened? We decided to press, and even though we had been up, but we felt like we were pretty athletic and could do some things. Chauncey Hill gets a steal around the 3-point line on their end, and Chauncey is a 5-man for us. He's one of the big ones that's not supposed to dribble, and for whatever reason, he decides whenever he gets the steal, he's just going to take off and dribble. So I'm sitting there like, oh no. I mean, I almost put my head down, and next thing you know, he gets across half court. He gets about to the 3-point line, and their big kid, Ryan Steffen is back, 6'10", 250. And when he gets back, Chauncey does what's called a Euro step. And he kind of stepped one way and then stepped the other beside him and goes up and dunks the ball in the middle of it. Like, dunking a ball after a Euro step is incredibly hard. And he just goes up and dunks the ball. Everybody in the stands, even their fans, everybody in the stands were like ooh and ah and like cheering. And that pretty much sealed the game right there when that play happened. It takes a lot of guts to do that at that time, because that's one of those plays that if you don't make it, then coach is going to be screaming at you afterwards. But let me get here so I can kind of see. We can kind of talk through. Do what?
First 3 guys back on the floor.
Okay. See, this is the kind of stuff that we've been looking for. Shots don't go in. We got to pursue that ball, go after it. Chauncey is great at that. He has been very, very good. He goes after every ball. Lawrence Domingo played very, very hard. Kevin. Okay, Kevin. Pause it. Kevin, this is the first 2 games that Kevin size. He's a 5'10" 2 guard from Cibola High School in Albuquerque, and he did not play very much last year, but we're trying to make a point that if you're working hard and doing what you're supposed to do, then that gets rewarded. And he's definitely not our most talented guy, but for whatever reason, they see this little dude on the floor, and they decide to go under on ball screens, which is the exact opposite of what you should do. So Kevin knocks down a 3. We come back and they go under another ball screen, so he just stops and shoots another one. Scores our first 6 points of the game because they go under ball screens. Okay. Okay, there's John for a 3. We made a couple shots. That definitely helped. Okay, Javon Mumtaz, it was really good to see him make a few shots. We need him to make shots. We know he's very capable of making shots. It's nice to have a 6'4", 6'5" guard that's a shooter and start making shots.
What year is he Stott?
Javon is confusing. Technically, I guess eligibility-wise, he only has 2 years. There was some issue with the NCAA because they said his system in New Zealand didn't add up. So they took 2 years away from him and made him sit out last year. So we're not really sure how all that, because he came in here, it had nothing to do with academics. When he came here, he had 31 and a half hours of what they considered college credit. So we're not really, but all we know is he has 2 years. He has this year and next year. Here's John on a ball screen. John and Lawrence on a ball screen again. There was a lot of ball screens here. That was a big play right there because that kind of froze them, and that